we were, let's say, 80% Facebook at one point, and now we're probably like 60% Facebook, 40% other networks. Because Facebook's
so
still
it's
great.
still-
I'm not saying
still
that
huge.
it's bad network,
Yeah.
but it's like start diversifying because you never know what's going to happen next.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And you don't really have a business if it's only on
One network, yeah.
Let's talk about the agency a little bit. So
Yeah.
multi-network traffic. Most people that I know right now are using, a lot of people are using Facebook exclusively, and we've got some people that are going back to Google, and some people are still using search and display with Google. But you decided to kind of make your specialty off those two things.
Yeah.
You do those two things too.
Yeah, well, yeah, tons of it.
But you do all the others. Tell us a little bit about kind of advantages, disadvantages. What are the options outside of Google and Facebook, and what's good or bad or indifferent about them?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things we noticed, obviously, with last year with Facebook's whole compliance issues and stuff that they went through, we noticed that, everybody had their eggs in one basket, and it was really, really good. We were having a conversation this morning with someone, and we're like, it kind of ruined marketing to a certain way. The way I look at it is like I studied direct response and like the true advertisers style of direct mail marketing, and Facebook just got good because you put up a video or you put up a long form post and you just had conversions, right? But it got to a point where compliance came into issue last year, and we're like, okay, well, we already had clients that we were running on Snapchat. Like we took an app from 0 to 40,000 downloads in 90 days, and no one even knew that we were doing that using 100% on Snapchat. And I'm like, well, I looked at Matt, I'm like, why don't we quit being the Facebook agency and start becoming the multi-network agency where we could take people that are running good amounts on Facebook, like $20,000-$30,000 a month, which is a decent amount for most businesses, and then take them to like the $250, $500 million a month spends, and take them across multi-network. And once we started to do that and we kind of etched our space there, it literally took off, because now clients come to us be like, hey, we're stuck on Facebook, we know we could scale it, but we want to look at everything else because they've already heard so many nightmares. Like a couple weeks ago, we took over an account. The next day, Facebook had the crazy, shutdown that they decided to have the very next day.
Yeah.
And that was like the best learning lesson. It's like, my pitch to them was, let's take you multi, don't be all on Facebook. We take over the account. The next day, Facebook goes down. I was like, my questions have been answered by Facebook. Thank you.
Give me a non-app case study example of how that transition off depending just on Facebook works.
So we have a photography-based info product line that we scaled. When we took them on, he was spending about $15K a month just on Facebook, and it's just an info product selling PDFs through photography. And today, probably spending about $250,000 average a month, and they're on Facebook, Google, Snapchat, Pinterest, native. I don't even know at this point. I'd have to look at exactly what, it all comes down to obviously what they're spending per month, but that's kind of where we are. And we started to notice that Facebook's a great place to be. And it's one of those things where it's like, we were, let's say 80% Facebook at one point, and now we're probably like 60% Facebook, 40% other networks. Because Facebook's
so
still
it's
great. I'm not saying that
huge.
it's bad network, but it's like start diversifying because you never know what's going to happen next.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And you don't really have a business if it's only on
one network. Yeah.
So would you say that's kind of a good, I know it's going to depend, but is there a range of Facebook to other things that you think is kind of optimal for folks? Do you try to weight an average and say, generally we like for people to be 60% on Facebook and 20% on Google? And
it really comes down to offers. A lot of the times is and it's like one of the things is yeah, we're now become the multi-network agency, but a lot of times people are running on Facebook. So it's like when we take them on, we'll say, let's optimize your Facebook at the best cost per acquisition, whatever the KPI really meant to be. And then from there, once we get that best cost per acquisition, now we know, then we figure out what their blended CPA needs to be across the next couple networks, and then we scale them across those networks. And then we'll figure out what the best is, whether it's YouTube, whether it's search, whether it's Snapchat. Snapchat was really, really good last year for a lot of people. Now their policy is starting to tighten up a little bit. But the one thing that most people aren't paying attention to on Snapchat is if you can get on the interest targeting that Facebook took away. Snapchat delivered.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
What? So when you say if you can get on, tell us about that. What does that mean?
With Snapchat policy, they can be a little bit of a nightmare. They obviously don't like certain offers. They do not like anything in the health space. From what we've noticed recently, all of our health offers got smacked recently.
Okay.
And obviously MLM offers and things like that, like heavily biz op things they don't want to do it. They love obviously affiliate offers in the mortgage space and things like that. But it's like all of that interest targeting. So if you can get around it, or even use Snapchat as an audience building network, use Snapchat as an audience building network on the front end, and then hit them for a conversion metric on the back end through Facebook, and target them there.
Is there any way to port, like, I'm assuming, and because I haven't advertised on Snapchat, but does Snapchat offer pixeling?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Is there any way to port the pixeling over to other platforms from one platform to another?
Well, you can use Snapchat's pixel to kind of go through and use and then retarget them on Facebook.
You can do that. Okay. Okay, cool. And are there any tools that you especially like in the stuff that you do for the agency?
See, the one thing that obviously Matt, who runs all the back end of our company, one thing we've tried to like go across is stay away from tools that stay as native to the platform as possible, because the more native you stay to the platform, the more
they like it.
They're going to like it.
Yeah.
So outside of using Google and Google Data Studio and analytics and kind of tracking across that board, it's like we don't really dabble in the world of tools. Like none of, like the Quayas of the world or the Ad Espressos of the world. Like I know the owner of Ad Espresso personally, and I told him straight up, it's like, I'll never use your platform. Love you as a person, but it's like, we'd rather stay native. So it's like that way, if we ever run into an issue policy wise, they can look at it and say they're pretty black and white with us.
Massimo,
yeah.
Yeah, I like him. He's a good guy. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's cool. And so, what about for timing? Do you do organic stuff too, or is it all paid media based?
It's all paid media. 100% of it's paid media. We're starting to more delve into the world of organic from Instagram using Direct Heroes. And however, like when it comes to organic content, like we've, it's being the best of what you're being the best at, and we're the best at doing paid networks. So it's like our paid traffic. It's like, let's just stick there and let any other agency, and we refer tons of business to organic people all the time, because it's just not our world of business.